Interoperability is a broad topic of discussion. There are many different views, many different perspectives of the problem, many different components that take part of this interoperability challenge. Well, it's been difficult to address it in a workshop like the one we had today, but definitely we tried. We refrained from agreeing on a common definition of interoperability because actually there are many. What we agreed is that information is a pillar of security. Information superiority is usually built on three main aspects, which is the quality of the information, the use of the information, and of course the availability. So information needs to be available when and where it is needed. Security research has invested a lot of effort to understand better the paradigm of interoperability, and actually there are many projects which address technologies which are interoperable by design as an intrinsic feature required for this security technologies. The problem that we face is that the interoperability challenge is so broad that sometimes it's difficult to address it only from the research side. Of course, there is a technical component, but there is also a transactional component. There is the willingness to share. There is the what to share while respecting security restrictions, ethical dimension, political dimension, etc. And of course, interoperability comes at the cost. Still, we think there is margin for improvement in how to bring in interoperability into the research arena, and we are exploring different tools, different tools that can help us to improve this interoperability solutions. This range, for example, from the alignment with policy priorities to the deep involvement of end users in research projects, but also standardization and procurement play a very relevant role. What we had today during the workshop was an heterogeneous lineup of experts that addressed all these different dimensions of the challenge, starting with research projects. This project explained us how are they dealing with interoperability issues when developing their new technologies for security, and we came up with a very nice recipe to follow in order to address it appropriately, which include having users on board, having committed partners, being backed up by political will, by standards, and also by business opportunities, and to conduct extensive field validation. From the policy side, we also had three representatives who explained us from its own area of interest how can policy foster EU interoperability solutions when they have the mandate. But the policy side will focus on aspects like the willingness to share, on what to share, on security issues, ethical, legal issues, but most of the cases will not prescribe solutions. So the door is open for research, and that's why we always invite researchers and developers to be fully updated with the policy priorities. We also had the view of the market with very interesting reflections in how the market, the procurement, and interoperability are linked, as well as standards, who are part of the big picture that may help to bring innovative solutions to the market. And finally, we had also the view of practitioners who explain us how relevant for them it is to have information available, like I said, when and where it's needed, and how interoperability can benefit the efficiency or the effectiveness of security operations. They also shared with us some success stories, including, for example, the one of the agencies, and which we could see how important the role of the agencies can be in order to promote the adoption of EU-wide interoperable solutions.